Because the relation between those two, the United States and the UAE, is a long, long business history with unquestioned support from Washington. The UAE is a major oil supplier and home to some 8% of the world's oil supply. And a key political ally, a major donor to the Bush family in politics. See, with money you can buy the presidency. And the UAE is also a nexus for money laundering. And it's got real links to Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda. Because the bin Laden family is a business partner of the Illuminatis and the Bushes, and Al-Qaeda is the Illuminati's phantom army that's being focused on taking over the world. It's their invention. It's that phantom army that has no uniform, that can appear and disappear after they hit, and no one knows from where they came or where. The United Arab Emirates, a loose federation of Semen Emirates. An emirate, by the way, is just a state or jurisdiction of an emir. An emir is a ruler or a chief, a tribal chief. Let's face it, the UAE is run by cousins of the Saudi family, as are the Kuwaitis. You're dealing in a family affair. And they do a lot of deals with the cousins of Britain's royal family, the Bushes. Just a glance at the board of directors of any typical Fortune 500 company is all that's required to understand how business is really done. And that the members of the New World Order really are the guys who run things. For example, the financial ties between the Saudi royal family and Wall Street is in the billions. Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, the largest single shareholder of Citigroup, where he sits atop its board alongside former CIA Director John Deutsch. Yeah, former CIA Director John Deutsch, and Roberto Hernandez, who's been exposed as one of the largest drug money launderers in the Western Hemisphere. Hey, hello? I don't hear CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC, or any news network reporting those facts. They stay away from that. You don't hear about that. Only on a show like A View from Space on AM 640 Toronto Radio. Prince Al-Walid is also the biggest holder of Pepsi shares. PepsiCo owns Frito-Lay. Every bag of chips you buy, every Pepsi you buy, and most of the snack foods, 80% of the snack foods that America eats, is owned by Saudi Prince Al-Walid bin Talal. Now, he's one of those wealthy guys I told you about that has no idea how much money he has. His hobbies, the sport of kings, horse racing, horse breeding. So that's who they're doing business with. See, the Bush administration cannot and will not offend any friendly government that serves key functions. Seen through the eyes of a Bush regime that knows that the jig is up, a major deal for U.S. ports, the outsourcing of chunks of the United States homeland is a small price to pay to maintain its relationship with the United Arab Emirates. The Dubai ports world itself, on paper, that deal is a commercial enterprise only. No involvement in day-to-day operations. The ports are still guarded by the Coast Guard and the port authorities, which are run by Homeland Security. So you see, it's so easy for them to do another inside job as 9/11. They don't need the United Arab Emirates running their 21 ports around the country. If there is a possible hidden agenda exposed by this Dubai ports world story, it's in the potential for United States ports to be used as part of a false flag operation, or a new 9/11 with failed port security serving as a component. See, the false flag operation is one where the perpetrator supplies its own enemy. America supplying the United Arab Emirates. Do you understand? So that they can say, well, of course the Coast Guard couldn't do anything about it. Of course the Port Authority couldn't do anything about it. Of course Homeland Security couldn't do anything about it, simply because the Dubai ports world were running the system. So that lets George W. off the hook, and he can still point across the Great Divide and say, they're over there. So you see, that's the plan. What do you think? Does it matter to you until the attack? See, I believe if there is a genuine threat, it will come from the wolves guarding the henhouse. The Bush administration, having the ports operated by Dubai, but with security controlled by Homeland Security, it's an ideal arrangement that ensures control for a false flag operation, as well as a convenient built-in scapegoat. Arab terrorists running the ports. The New York Daily News gives an idea of some of the connections that bind the Bush administration to Dubai, to the point where George W. is willing to exercise the first veto in his presidency over any congressional legislation that prohibits this port contract from going through. And one is Treasury Secretary John Snow, whose department heads the federal panel that signed off on this over $6 billion sale of an English company to government-owned Dubai ports world, giving it control of Manhattan's cruise ship terminal and Newark's container port. Snow was chairman of the CSX rail firm that sold its own international port operations to Dubai Ports World for a little over $1 billion in 2004. The year after that, Snow left for the president cabinet. He was given a cabinet position after he made the sale to Dubai Ports World. The other connection is David Sanborn, who runs Dubai Port World's European and Latin American operations. And Bush picked him last month to head the United States Maritime Administration. So all the boys are getting in place. What's coming? I wonder. Got a comment? It's 416-870-6400. And star 640 on your cell. Mike, hi, you're on AM 640 Toronto Radio.
Hi, good evening, Space. How are you?
Good.
Got a quick question for you. And I just would like to hear some feedback from you on, I don't know if you heard about this foiled terrorist plot in, I believe, Saudi Arabia, where the 3 cars were about to ram through the gate at the refinery, and they were stopped. The guards shot
before
them.
they got through the first gate, yeah.
Yeah, they exploded all
that
the
put oil up
3 cars.
another $1.
Yeah, all 3 cars. And that was convenient how they brought it out. It was like literally 48 hours after the whole, what hit the fan with this port deal.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we follow the terrorist plan. We're all good, It's I just think it was kind of weird,
Well, you're getting the picture. You're starting to see. You're not under that black magic spell of fear and of these guys running the show and taking it rest assuredly in the correct, direction. I mean, of course, that whole thing was a setup to give people a fear of oil going even higher.